Hi, welcome back to another video of mine. So today, the two things that we're going to talk about is one, the steal of a Ikea cabinet that I got. Other thing we're going to do is I have this Micans that is in the corner of my living room. It's on my south-facing window. It's a gorgeous plant. It's been doing wonderful. It's really long. It's touching the floor, and I've chopped it a couple times, and I don't want to cut it. I kind of like how long it is. I think it's gorgeous, but I want to do something with it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang it against my west-facing window, and I think I'm going to clip all the vines and kind of have it take over this wall. Let's start off with the Ikea Millsbo cabinet. I think for this, we'll go into the bedroom. It's in there right now, so I think we're gonna go in there and I'm gonna talk a little bit more about it and the whole background of that cabinet. Alrighty, we are in the bedroom right now, and this is the cabinet in question. This is the Millsbo Tall in the black color. The reason why I'm really excited about this cabinet and just the whole situation in general is these cabinets are extremely hard to find. These are sold out constantly. Like, I don't go to Ikea. No one goes to Ikea and they're just there. I don't think that's normal, at least where I'm at. So not only are they really big in plant community or in like plant groups, they are huge in a lot of other different groups. Collectors, people who just actually like the piece and use it as like decor. These are just always sold out. The other thing with them being always sold out is they are stupidly expensive, and they are getting more and more expensive as the time goes because of just the high demand. I remember when I went in and got my Millsbo wide, which is in my other spare room, that cabinet, which is a smaller one technically, I think I paid $200 for it. I don't remember exactly. I'm pretty sure that cabinet is now worth $249. This cabinet at that time was $249. This is now moved up to $300. So they are getting consistently more expensive. And to put in perspective, you're spending $300 plus tax, and this isn't even a greenhouse yet. You have to weather strip, you have to get the lights, you have to get fans, potentially change out the shelves. You're forking over at least another $100, maybe $200, just depending on what you get and if you have spare supplies on the side. I found this in a group, like a local group, a Facebook group. It is a like all carnivorous group that I'm in. So the person that was selling this, they actually had 3 of them, and they were selling each one for $120, which is already a steal in itself. Not only was it super cool, but they also already have this thing weather stripped. They already have drilled holes in the bottom for cable management, and they actually switched out the glass shelves with wired shelves, which at first I wasn't a fan of, but I think I'm just gonna keep as is, just because it's going to help with the airflow versus just having a big slab of glass blocking different centers and having to do different fans in those corners. This will just make it a lot more better airflow. So that's kind of like why it was such a huge deal. For me to snag this for $120 is amazing. It was really funny. Originally, I bought it, I sent them the money, I went to get it all set up to pick up. My partner's mom has a Jeep, so I was like, let's throw it in the Jeep. It should fit in the Jeep. Everything fits in the Jeep. So before we set sail to go pick it up, we got there, we got the Jeep. I actually ended up measuring it out. It was not gonna fit in the Jeep. So I actually had to call some other family, figure out some stuff. I ended up borrowing a truck and having to go out to pick this up in a truck. Even in the truck, it was still sticking out a little bit, and I had to tie it down. I will be 100% honest. I do not know how to tie down something, especially something like this. So I did my best. Was it safe, and was it tied down properly? I'm gonna be real, probably not. But we took the side roads home and we got home safe. Nothing broke and no one suffered. So I count that as a W. I'm so lucky that I ended up finding this for the price that I did. The reason why I got this, not only because of the price and things of that nature, but something that I have really wanted to do, it's a goal of mine as the next couple years roll through, is I want to open some type of shops, some type of online shop probably, and start growing from my own collection and kind of doing it that way. So that's why I know it's going to take some time, but originally I was looking for bigger like metal shelves or wired shelves. I was going to just kind of sacrifice my living room and have them all laid out there and just so they were getting proper light. But with a cabinet like this, with how much room that it has, I am totally going to be able to maintain and pretty much do the entire business in here, which is super exciting. Not only can I put this anywhere and I know that they're gonna have good condition, all of it is done. All I need is to do is to get some lights and some fans, and I pretty much have everything else that I need for it. I'll get some close-up shots right now, actually, just to show you kind of what has already been done. Okay, a little bit closer up of kind of like what's going on, just to kind of show what has already been done. So right when we open this up, it's hard to see on the door frame, but they have installed weather stripping on the side here. It's all black, so it blends in really, really nicely. They have it on here. It looked like they had it on the top and they either got rid of it or it might have fallen off. I have decided that I'm not gonna change any of the weather stripping or what has been done until later on. I think I'm gonna just get what I need to in regards to get this cabinet started, like the lights and the fans and things of that nature, and then I will just see how well it holds the humidity. And then from there, I'll make some adjustments. On the other side here, you can see too, they also added like the little flappy weather stripping on top of like the more of the foam one. So I have this type in my cabinet and it's super, super nice. It's holding a lot of humidity, I feel like. But other than that, what they decided to do is normally with these cabinets, they will come with glass shelves. The owner prior decided to get rid of them, which like I said, is something decently normal that people will do just because of airflow. You can kind of see right here, they pretty much installed these metal shelves and they added these kind of like pegs, little stand hooks with like screws, it looks like, on all three sides. So 2 on the side, 1 in the back here, and they zip tied it. So these things aren't really gonna move or fall or knock over, which is really, really nice. I really like how this bottom one is set up. I do see myself potentially removing it just to give me like a lot of room. I don't really need that big of space, but maybe in the future it's something I'll do. It is hard to see, you might be able to, but they drilled holes for cable management, which I am very thankful for. It's probably the hardest part. I don't think I'll change the bottom, but I am tempted to potentially drill a hole pretty similar on the top side, only because I will probably have lights on the very top, not probably, I will have lights on the very, very top of the shelf, and then on this bottom shelf here, I don't know if I'm going to put lights in one of the middle zones or if I'm gonna add lights down here, but that hole could be for that and then just for the fans and whatnot. So that might be the only thing I might do in regards of just adding something extra, is I might drill another hole. My other cabinet, I did 2 holes on each side just so I had some versatility in case I changed my mind in the future. But yeah, this is a project that I'm slowly gonna be kind of working on. I said in a couple years, but in hindsight, I'd love to get this kind of going in under a year. By like the end of 2023, I have something established, have something set up, be able to ship and sell, all that kind of stuff. But this will be something that we return to probably pretty soon. Like I said, I just need the lights and the fans, but yeah, this is the cabinet. This is what I was super excited about. Was not expecting something like this to come up, but the way that it did, it just felt like everything was right and it was meant to be. So very thankful for that. All right, so we are on to the next thing that I wanted to work on, which is this wall here and this Micans. I don't know how long I've had this one. It's been a pretty long time, to be quite honest, definitely over a year, and I have trimmed it back. I've done a lot to it, and I absolutely adore this plant. I love Micans specifically on either a south-facing window or a west-facing window, especially west-facing. When the sun is just setting and that light's just kind of coming in, it is absolutely gorgeous. I don't know, there's just something about it that just really makes this plant stand out. You just see the vivid dark greens, but then the back has that red tone to it and the sunlight. I don't know, it just looks super, super nice. So I've had this one on the south-facing window for honestly, probably a couple months now. And some of the leaves have definitely started to get like sun stress, which is kind of cool. I love it. I've cut it before and I don't want to cut it again. So here is where my thought process is, and just to kind of give you an idea of what I want to do. You can kind of see I already have some of these kind of hanging up. I did this just for the time being, and that's kind of what sparked my idea of like maybe I should do this for the entirety of the wall. That's what we're gonna go through and do. Originally in this spot, I decided ahead of time I wanted to hang the Micans over here. I wasn't sure on how I wanted to hang it or what I wanted to do. So I started looking around and I found these cute little wooden hangers, something a little bit different than the white hooks that I have inside here right now. I'm just not a fan of them. They blend in, which is nice, but they're just not the most attractive looking thing. So that was kind of one of my biggest things. Found these, loved them. So I was like, I'm gonna put this on the side corner. I'll mount it this way. I don't like to hang stuff off the roof. That's why I want to just mount these in. And I have a lot of wooden beams and frames that I can do stuff like this with. So I got it. I was really excited about it, and I was trying to find a spot for it. As you can see, the surround sound's already here, so it kind of just felt weird to put it lower. And then I didn't like putting it here, like it could work, but I just really wasn't feeling it. But I finally did find the type of thing I wanted to hang in, like the pot or the basket. And I ended up getting this at my work. I believe the brand is called Cardiff, but I just like how simple it is. It's nice, it's very just chill, but I think it'll look really pretty with the dark green foliage and just kind of like the really bright red tones, especially since I'm pretty sure my Micans is decently sun stressed now. So this was the basket that I kind of chose with. I realized after I got it that I didn't think I was gonna really enjoy the wood look plus this type of like, I think the tones were gonna be off. So I was already kind of like, man, maybe this isn't gonna be the best bet. But as I was looking over here, I noticed very conveniently that there is a screw on the bottom here that kind of just holds this kind of perfectly. Once I can get it, yeah. And I know it's not the cleanest look and it's not like this crazy like, oh my gosh moment, but I kind of like it. I like how it's kind of just sitting on the side. It's close to the window. It's not like in its own little zone. Would I like having it hang from above? Yes, but like I said, I don't want to hang anything in the roof. And I think I just really like how this looks. So I think we're gonna go with this. I gave it like the smallest tug. So I think it'll be okay. Once we put the Micans in, I just watered this thing not too long ago, so it should still be like somewhat moist. So I'm hoping that will be the max of the weight. And if it doesn't seem like it's bulging or bending or anything funky is going on, then calling it a day. I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna put the Micans in, kind of get it set up, and then we will start looking about how to vine and how I want to kind of vine up this wall specifically. Okay, so now it's time to move the Micans. I think this is the side that I'm gonna have placed out this way, and then we're gonna go from there. So I actually realized I probably should take out this metal hook first. Alrighty, so I have it all taken out, and it is looking very lush. I definitely want it to like grow out on each side. I don't want it to just all be coming off of just one area specifically. So let me see here. The other thing that's really nice about this type of pot is since it has like a lining in it and it's gonna be in the farther corner, I don't think anyone's really gonna notice that it's not actually like potted in. But honestly, like just this alone looks so pretty. It's cool to see the leaves this way because a lot of the times this plant is facing a window, so I don't get to see the foliage other than like from the other way. So seeing it just all like lush and kind of flowing down is honestly super pretty. Kind of makes me not want to do what I'm gonna do, but I'm still gonna do it. Worst case, if I don't like it, then at least I know I like this. So I have a couple command strips already up on here. I'm gonna take these down. We had artwork above here before. Actually, this entire space used to be a desk. So I actually used to have a desk here. This used to be kind of like a work zone that was inside the living room, just nice and bright light, a different spot in case I was getting kind of burnt out of working in a certain spot, or like in the other spare room and things of that nature. But it got taken over by plants. So that slowly kind of just didn't get used the way it was supposed to. And then from there, once the holidays came around, we ended up moving the desk into the bedroom just so we can have our Christmas tree. Just because as time's progressed, we've added other things in. Oh, this one's gonna be stuck. The desk has stayed in there because we got a free TV. So we don't have anywhere to put the TV. So now it's on that desk. So here we are. That's why I want to do something with this space. It's not filled anymore. It still is really pretty. I think this will give a nice vibe on the wall, but I still need to figure out the bottom zone. Our Wi-Fi is connected here. We have a lot of outlets over here. I need to find something cool and cute to kind of hide all of that in, like a little like container or something. I don't know, or like a little side table. So I'm still figuring all that out. I'm gonna need to get like a little spatula or something to like scrape that off, so give me 1 second. Okay, so I got that removed. So here are the little plant clips that I'm using. They're just like the little white ones. You can kind of just twist them around. There's some other ones that I've seen that I was very contemplating of getting, But the reason why I went with these ones, also these ones peel super easy. I don't know if people ever run into like the 3M like tape and how much of a pain it can be. But I decided to go with the white ones only because the wall's white and I thought it would kind of help blend in better than some of the other ones that were kind of like green looking. Right now, I'm kind of just sticking them in spots. I probably should think a little bit before I do this, and I honestly should wipe the wall down, but I'm also too lazy. Plus, there's not like there's anything super crazy going on in the regards of like what's being hung up here, so I don't think it should be that big of a deal. I'm gonna work on untangling this, and as it kind of goes through, I will kind of show what's going on in those regards and whatnot. Hi. So, as you can tell, I'm not wearing the same clothes as I was in the previous clips, and that is because it's been a couple of days now since I did this whole piece over here, and I'm just not liking it. It's not really something that's bringing me a lot of joy. In the beginning, I thought it would grow on me, and I, for the most part, did enjoy it. I thought it looked pretty interesting. It showcased the Micans in a fun way, but it's just not doing it. I don't think it's as filled as I want it to be, and I think that might be causing me to not like it as much. So I think what my goal is right now is I'm gonna take all the vines down. I'm gonna keep the strips up just for the time being, just in case I end up doing something and they kind of work out and I'm not taking off and all that kind of stuff. But take all the vines down, and then from there, I'm gonna just try a couple different things. I think I want it to feel more full, so I'm thinking multiple vines in like one area, if that makes sense, or kind of all together. So I'm gonna group them up, work on it, but we're gonna redo this and we're gonna make it look better than what it looks like now. We have everything all taken off. They're all just kind of hanging down. Oh, actually, I just missed this one. Now it's just kind of hanging down and just looking lush this way. Honestly, worst case scenario, we'll keep it like this, but I would like to do something with it. I just don't know what. So I'm wondering if like, I kind of like having some of it stay and kind of float down the way that it was. I thought that was super pretty. So it's all tangled up again, but I'm wondering if I should do something where, like I said, I kind of group them up a little bit more. Just as an example, right? I have like more than just like a strand at a time. Like not exactly like this, but like something in this type of like zone where like it's growing, and then it'd be cool too, because I know I have some that aren't as long, some of those longer ones that don't make it all the way down, to have those kind of drape over. I think something like that could be really pretty. I could even like try to start it a little bit higher up, maybe do like a little dip and then have it go down, but do something a little bit higher up. Let me step back and look real quick. So I think that's gonna be the plan. I think I'm gonna group them all together and kind of do like a hanging type of situation. I'm just gonna wing it and kind of mess with it a little bit more, but I feel like that's just gonna look better. Just something a little bit more lush. I think that's what we want. I think we want lush. I think if we can nail the lush part, it'll feel really good. So I'm gonna mess with that. I think this might be kind of the vibe. So hear me out. Here's where my head's at. Here's why I am going the route that I'm going, and I think I actually do like this a little bit more. I said something about how I really wanted to keep more of a natural look, and what I did before just wasn't as natural as I was hoping. I think if it was more filled and more bushy, yes, but it just wasn't passing. Some of the leaves were too small. It wasn't as filled of a space. There's a lot of gaps. I think that was the biggest issue and why I just wasn't really feeling it at first. But I think I'm really enjoying how this is set up, to have kind of like thicker bundles of it to kind of go down, and then to have some of these also hang down from the bottom. You still get to see these cool aerial roots. I have some hanging here. It's kind of like this whole Micans is taking over, but instead of it taking over the entire wall, it's kind of almost like it's reaching and climbing somewhere new. So I think I like this more. It's a little bit more messy looking, but I don't think that's bad. I don't think that's an issue, and I think it's kind of cool looking, if I'm being honest. I think this will be kind of the final look. I know it's kind of ridiculous considering how much work I put in for the other piece and for me to just kind of throw it away, but I think that's kind of like the fun part of this stuff is you try things and sometimes they don't come out the way you're hoping they would come out. And even now, there might be a couple more days or a couple weeks that pass by, I might feel the same way and I might keep messing with it, or I might just scrap the whole idea completely. But it's just kind of how it goes. It's trial and error, it's learning, and it's filling your space, and it's trying to make decisions that, you know, impact your space, but also impact you and make you feel good. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna keep it this way. I am going to take out all these extra hooks right now, so then I will be back after that. That is going to be a wrap on today's video. Thank you so much for spending time out of your day to watch it. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think in regards of the Micans, how it's set up. Tell me what you would do different, or if you have other ideas for it. I'd love to hear them, especially if I end up not liking this and I scrap it again. It'd be fun to hear some other ideas in those regards overall. But if you did like the video, give me a good old thumbs up, subscribe, follow, all that kind of fun stuff. Share this with a friend that you think might enjoy. But yeah, until the next time, have a good one. Later.